In our back-to-school coverage with students returning to school, some healthcare providers are anticipating a spike in viruses and even possibly COVID. Fox 23's Alexa Mostrom learned what doctors say you can do to keep your kids safe.
Back to school can be a hectic time for parents and students, but it's important to make sure your kid is healthy before they go back to class.
It's important to ensure that they have a checkup with their doctor if they haven't had one recently. If they're in any sports, you can do a sports physical at the same time. Make sure they're caught up on vaccines.
Russell Holder with Utica Park Clinic in Muskogee explains they usually see an uptick in viruses this time of year because of back to school, and we may see a rise in COVID cases as well.
It depends on when we see COVID or flu. COVID is kind of been throughout the year, so we could see a rise in it when kids go back to school and are in close quarters.
He says getting students up to date on vaccines like chickenpox, COVID, and flu may help your child from coming home sick when exposed. Holder says as a preventative measure, students need to be careful to wash their hands, cover their mouths, and if they feel sick, stay home. But there are signs parents need to keep an eye out for.
Make sure they don't have any fevers, that their appetite is still doing well, that they're drinking enough, and that they're not having a lot of coughing, mucus production, sore throat.
Aubrey Lopez brought her kids by for checkups before going back to school. She told me they're up to date on all their vaccinations, but she's still worried about them getting sick.
I am concerned about them getting it, of course, because that sets them back, and academically it could really interfere with a lot because they'll be out of school for a week.
She hopes other families take initiative and at least get their kids checked out by a physician before going back to school.
Get checkups, get vaccinations, look into them, of course. I'm not going to say just absolutely do it. You do what's best for you and your family.
Holder recommends watching your kids closely for the first 2 weeks to a month that they're back in school for any signs of sickness. Covering news that matters, I'm Alexa Mostrom, Fox 23 News.
The list of immunization requirements is long and split up by age group, so we do have the requirements guide in this story on fox23.com. If you don't vaccinate or have a personal or religious belief against it, you do need to fill out an exemption form. We have that link, a link to that in the story as well.